Hello, 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 and welcome to Workouts for Older Men Live. I am Skip LaCour. So glad you are joining me. Hey, when you come on, say hello, hello, hello. That's our Workouts for Older Men Live greeting. Do that even when you're watching the replay version. Post any questions that you have down below. I will do my best to answer them during these live videos as I'm popping up. I'll be popping up more frequently and in a more timely, more scheduled manner too. So post your question down below. I will answer it in the comment section. And who knows, maybe I'll make a whole video that answers your question in detail. All right. Say hello, 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 and tell me where you're watching me from. If you are new, let me know that you're new. And make sure you go over to skiplacour.com. Make sure you go to skiplacour.com, even if you're not new. And that's my skiplacour.com website. There are so many videos there, podcasts, blog posts, training, working out, nutrition, mindset, uh, effective and efficient systems at the most uh, seasoned, the most efficient older men, what they do, the practices and thinking and doing that you can model their results, right? Save yourself a lot of time. I've got many ways for me to help you in addition to these videos over on skiplacour.com. Also, if you want some one-on-one coaching, reach out to me. That is the most effective and efficient way to get to that higher level without all the frustration, confusion, um, all of the trial and error. I've done that for the last 34 years. All right. I've done everything that you can imagine as far as training and nutrition that you hear about, you read about, you see on the internet. And I can tell you what's most effective and efficient for you, your lifestyle. And also, now that we're a little bit older, we've got different priorities and different values. Hey, in this short video, I want to talk about nutrition, eating right, nutrition made simple. Right. I know there's so much information out there. I think you've heard it. You've heard it from me thousands of times if you've been around long enough. And you hear it from all the fitness enthusiasts that nutrition, it's so important to the process. Building muscle, you got to eat in a manner to build muscle. Got to eat in the right way to lose the body fat, to even show the muscle that you have. I know you hear that a lot. A lot of men believe that they know the importance, but they're not taking enough action. It's really causing all the challenges as far as your expectations aren't being met. The muscle that you think you're not gaining, what time frame, also the body fat that you're not losing. And even when you diet, the muscle that you believe that you're losing, it's all tied into nutrition, right? Now, if you're like most men, again, I've coached hundreds of men, and one thing when they hear about nutrition, their brain freezes. All right, if they look pretty good, just not to the level that they want, they'll say, "Well, I eat clean foods," and they'll list all the foods that they eat, how they're healthy. Sometimes they don't eat quite so in a healthy manner. Uh, but it seems to work out well for them. They've lost the weight. They look better than most. They're just not where they want to be. They want to take to that higher level. After you just move more and eat less and clean up your diet, all right, to get to that next level that you want, you're going to have to know a little bit more than that, even though that got you to this point. To get to the next level, you're going to have to know what you're doing. Now, it doesn't have to be complex. I know you're listening to a lot of the passionate fitness experts going deeply into the science, right? And all the different complicated, not so sustainable strategies, right? It's interesting. They have the studies to prove it. They may even look awesome, right? But there's a lot of people taking a lot more simple approach that don't know half the things about the science, and they still get the results because there's certain organizing principles that you need to know, all right, to make this work. And it does not mean you can only eat certain foods. It does not mean that you're going to have to starve. It doesn't mean that you have to track every calorie that goes into your body. You have to weigh things out, measure things out. Doesn't mean you can never eat those fun, delicious foods with your friends. You got to pack up your food and containers. You got to stop and eat 6 times a day. maybe even get up in the middle of the night for a protein shake. You've heard it all. When when they know they got to do it, their brain just kind of glosses over, kind of throw up their hands. And because that's what they jump to, those are the conclusions they jump to when they say eating. Let me just tell you this, all right? Just make it simple parameters. You're going to have to do a little bit of digging of how this applies to you, but you can't eat too much food. There's like 4 things that you have to remember when it comes to eating right, nutrition made simple. You can't eat too much food. And so you'll say, "Ah, come on, no dust, Skip. Of course, I can't eat too much food. Everybody knows that." Well, what's too much food? What's too little food? What's the right amount? You're going to have to track your calories at some point, not forever, because most people, especially when it works, will fall into certain patterns that work. They'll eat, the same foods most of the time, 60, 70% of the time. So they know what foods work, the amount of food that works. But if you fall into that pattern, you find what it is, you'll have to know how many calories that is. Right. Again, it's not forever. You need to count calories. All right. So don't get overwhelmed with that. But everything, there's a price tag for everything, the great things you want in life. And to get to that next level, even though what you're doing is working, you want to get to that next level, you got to know how many calories that you eat. You probably, if it's working for you and you're disciplined, you probably can go get an app right now, use the library, and just track it. I'm not saying go to the app and have them figure out whatever they think your metabolic rate is and what's a surplus or what's a deficit. I'm not saying that. Use the library to figure out these foods you're already eating, right? Because you can't eat too much food, but what number is that? Most men have no idea how many calories that they're eating. Right. Obviously, if they're doing pretty well, it may not be too much, but that's just one component. You can't eat too much. Right. But you got to know. You got to know. All right. At least for a period of time. So, number 2, you can't eat too little food. Right. I mean, come on. You're disciplined. You're successful in life. I mean, who couldn't eat just 900 calories for a long enough period of time? You do that. You think you're going to get the results. Get the results. It's not that difficult to just eat like 900 calories. Now, again, is that a lot? Is that a little? Does it sound right? How would you know? Because you don't know how many calories you're eating. I'm just saying that's too little food. It will work in the short term, right? It won't get you to the promised land, depending on how high your standards are. It won't take you all the way to the promised land, and it won't be sustainable. That's not enough food. But again, how many calories do you eat? Can't eat too much. You can't eat too little. When you find the right amount for you, it takes a little bit of experimentation. Someone who can help you. I can help you figure this out as a coach, your particular situation. All right. It takes a little bit of experimentation, not a whole lot. It's not rocket science. But when you find that right amount, you want to be as consistent as you can. Now, a lot of us are creatures of habit. And, once we find a plan that works, as long as we feel certain with it, that's not a big challenge to be consistent with it, right? And we don't necessarily want to average over 7 days or 14 days. We want to hit that amount and be consistent with it, right? So when you find that right amount, you want to be consistent with it. Again, so you can't eat too much, can't eat too little. When you find that right amount, be consistent with it. Probably the 4th factor to make nutrition simple is, what are your expectations? What do you believe? What do you think the human body will do in what period of time? How are you assessing your progress? You can be doing everything right, but your expectations are off. You don't know what to expect. And that causes uncertainty. You don't follow through with what you're doing, even if you're doing right, because you don't know that you're doing it right. And you don't know for what period of time you should be doing it for. Right. And so you could be doing everything right. And then, you're not quite as consistent, straight from your diet. Start making changes that you don't need to make because you don't know what to expect, what the body will do in what time frame, and especially when you do it in a sustainable manner. So those are the parameters. It really is that simple. I didn't talk about foods or combinations of foods or timing of foods, right? It can be that simple, right? If you want some help, reach out to me. I can have a program for you, very affordable, that I line out all the training nutrition Supplement, talk about, supplementation, everything for an older man with a busy, productive life, how to get in those patterns and how to feel certain with it. Videos, training programs, a lot of explanation videos. Go to solutionswithskip.com or click that link that is in the in my bio. All right. You can go to solutionswithskip.com, click that link that's in the description of this video. All right. And check it out. The greatest part about it, in addition to the digital information, the videos, the audios, the step-by-step breakdown, all right, is you get one-on-one time with me and a recorded coaching call. You'll see the power of one-on-one coaching where I'll meet you where you are, right? Minimal investment, 147. Check that out. That's with the one-on-one coaching session with me. I'll record the call so you can listen to it over and over again and have it forever. All right, that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Hey, make sure you visit skiplacour.com. Make sure you're on my email list and make sure you reach out to me and take advantage of that program, that starter program I have for you. All right. So that's going to do it for this Workouts for Older Men Live. Hello, Adam, over on Facebook. Hello, Katie. And hello, Roy. All right. Hey, thank you for being here. And if you're in the replay version, make sure you comment down below. All right, let's take on the day with a sense of urgency. We have to when we're a little bit older. We've got more time behind us than we do in front of us. Have a great day. Thanks for being here.